You really need to be on the ball if you're going to follow this lesson, because I am going to teach you different C1 and C2 idioms to help you build your vocabulary and improve your skills when having a casual conversation. So let's begin with an idiom that I've already mentioned, which is on the ball. And to be on the ball is a C1 idiom, and it means to be quick to understand and react to things. So it's like you're just really ready and alert. And often this idiom is going to follow the verb to be. And you could use it in the affirmative and say, look, you really need to be on the ball for the important meeting tomorrow. Or you may hear people use it in the negative and say something like, well, he didn't sleep much last night, so today he's just not on the ball. I always try to be on the ball when I come up with these lessons. I try to react and always give you the best information, provide some nuance. So throughout the lesson, I'm going to tell you the meaning of each idiom. I'll talk a little bit about how it's used, and we'll go over the pronunciation so that you can say them easily and naturally. And with that in mind, let's talk about the pronunciation right now. When pronouncing this idiom, linking may occur. And this is when you link the final consonant sound of one word with the beginning vowel sound of the next word. And really, we're talking about linking that consonant sound of the verb to be with the vowel sound in on. So I could say, she's on the ball. I'm on the ball. You're on the ball. And it's like you can hear that consonant sound getting moved over to that preposition. And if I were to say it a little faster, she's on the ball. I'm on the ball. You're on the ball. And if you really want to be on the ball, then I would suggest you subscribe, turn on notifications. That way I can become your teacher. My name is Wes. The channel is Interactive English. It's all about trying to help you reach your fluency goals. So in this lesson, we're looking at both C1 and C2 idioms. These are Cambridge's highest levels of proficiency. And we're going to start with C1 idioms and then move into some more challenging C2 idioms. And look, I'm confident that if you learn these idioms, you're going to be able to pass any type of exam. IELTS, TOEFL, it doesn't matter. I really think you'll be able to pass any of these exams with flying colors. And that is the next idiom that I want to teach you, with flying colors. This means to do something, such as pass an exam successfully. And often you're going to use this with the verb pass, to pass with flying colors. It's a common collocation.
Both passed with flying colors and will be named finalists in our astronaut search.
You passed with flying colors.
Yes! You can also put the object in there right after the verb, to pass something with flying colors.
Well, you passed the vetting process with flying colors.
Well, you passed the breathalyzer with flying colors.
Now, if someone were to test your pronunciation and speaking fluency, I'm sure that you would like to pass with flying colors. And there is a great app to help you do just that. And I'm talking about ELSA Speak, who is the sponsor of today's lesson. This is a great app that will help you fine-tune your pronunciation so that the next time you're having a conversation, you're really going to be on the ball. And if you're unfamiliar with it, let me show you how it works. You just download the app, create an account, and there's so much that you can do. Let's say that you're preparing for the IELTS. Well, then you can check out these study sets, and we will go over here to, well, how about idioms for IELTS speaking? And you can listen to the idiom.
It can't hold a candle to the other hotel.
And then practice saying it. It can't hold a candle to the other hotel. But I think one of the coolest features is to be able to practice words, phrases, and sentences that you want to learn. So I could put in the sentence, I'm going to pass with flying colors. And then you can listen to it.
I'm going to pass with flying colors.
And again, practice saying it. I'm going to pass with flying colors. Now let me show you what it looks like if I make a mistake and I mispronounce the idiom. I'm going to pass with fleeing colors. As you can see, you get instant feedback, which then allows you to try and make adjustments. And right now, when you click on the link below and download the ELSA Speak app, you can get 7 days of the Pro membership free. Or you can use my discount to get 85% off a lifetime membership or 40% off a 1-year membership. So check out the links and discounts in the description if you'd like to learn your mistakes and improve your pronunciation. And before you know it, you'll sound just like a native speaker. Let's get back to our idiom lesson, and the next one that I have for you is to turn a blind eye. This means to ignore something that you know is wrong. And unfortunately, I think we can all relate to this idiom. You see something that you know is wrong, but you don't say anything, you don't do anything, you turn a blind eye. You may follow this idiom with the preposition to turn a blind eye to something. The teacher turned a blind eye to cheating during the quiz. Or maybe I know that Emmy stole the cookie, but I decided to turn a blind eye to the situation, and I just ignored it. For pronunciation, more linking may occur with the first two words and the last two words. Turn a blind eye. Turn a blind eye. Just listen for it.
For years, the government turned a blind eye to the recruitment of immigrants by the meatpacking industry.
Obviously, I'm not going to turn a blind eye, no matter how absurd I find all of this.
Then we have the easy way out. I really like this idiom. Who does not like the easy way out? So this really refers to what is easiest in a difficult situation. And often you may use this idiom with the verb take, to take the easy way out. Have you ever taken the easy way out? When it comes to these vocabulary lessons, I try not to take the easy way out and just teach simple, basic vocabulary. I try to tackle some advanced words and phrases and give you nuance and context. And to give you some context as to how this idiom is used, I have some news headlines for you. LeBron James taking the easy way out on offense? Are regulators about to take the easy way out and declare CBD a drug? African currencies are crashing and there's no easy way out. For pronunciation, we can connect those final two words, way out. And really what's going on here is intrusion. And this is when you insert a slight consonant sound between two vowel sounds in order to connect them. So way, even though it's spelled W-A-Y, it's actually a vowel sound, way. It's a front vowel sound, which means we would insert a slight y sound in order to link it with the vowel sound in out. Way out. The easy way out. And we'll talk more about intrusion with our next idiom, which is how on earth? What on earth? Why on earth? This is a great idiom for conveying some emotion. It's used when you're extremely surprised, confused, or angry about something. How on earth did this happen? Why on earth are you changing jobs? What on earth is that? Okay, and notice the way that I'm saying it, really capturing that emotion. When pronouncing this idiom, there are really two things that may occur, but it really just depends on the question word that you're using. Who, what, where, when, why, how. But the two things are linking or intrusion. Let's start with linking because this is something that may or may not occur. I told you that this idiom, it can convey emotion. And when that happens, people may emphasize the individual words and possibly even speak slower, in which case you're not really going to link the words together. What on earth are you doing? How on earth did you get that? But if somebody is speaking casually and naturally, they may say it a little faster, and in that case, we can link some of these words. So, what on earth or where on earth? The other thing I'd like to point out is that what on earth, that final T in what, because I'm from the United States, I am going to pronounce it as a flap T. It's going to sound like a soft D. And this is because it comes between two vowel sounds. What on earth? And we can link that flap T with the vowel sound in on. What on earth? Where on earth? Just listen for it.
What on earth is going on here?
Where on earth did you get these?
Where on earth did they go?
Now you may be thinking, what about when on earth? Can we also link this phrase together? Yes, you can, but I want you to know that it is not commonly used. You can see that right here using Ngram Viewer. This is a great resource to compare different words and phrases and see how frequently they are used. And as you can see, when on earth is not commonly used. If we're talking about the question words why or how, well then intrusion is going to occur. I told you it's when we insert a slight consonant sound between the two vowels. So why on earth, that's a front vowel, so we can insert a slight y between the two vowels, why on earth. And how, this is a diphthong, but it's a back vowel, so we can insert a slight w sound. How on earth. Why on earth? How on earth. It's very slight, but just listen for it.
Why on earth would we have sex?
Why on earth would you turn around and give the contract to the Chinese?
How on earth is that possible?
And then there's in light of, or really in light of something. And this means because of or as a result of. And typically it's something that you learn about or become aware of, and therefore a change is going to be made. So I could say, in light of recent events, we canceled the match. And this is a good collocation with this idiom, in light of recent events. You may be thinking, in light of learning new vocabulary, I'm going to hit that like button. And I would really appreciate it, and I know that you're not going to turn a blind eye to hitting that like button. For pronunciation, there are just two things that I want to point out, linking and a flap T. So the final T in light, because it comes between two vowel sounds with the American accent, I am going to pronounce it as a flap T. And then I can link that soft D with the vowel sound in of, in light of, in light of. Say it with me. In light of. Good. In light of finishing the C1 idioms that I wanted to teach you, let's move on to those C2 idioms, which may not be as common, but they're great to learn because they're really going to help you express your thoughts, opinions, and feelings. Like this next idiom, which is at the end of your rope. It means having no strength or patience left. And it's a great way to emphasize that. And of course, you can replace that possessive pronoun with others, my rope, his rope, her rope. But I could say, I'm at the end of my rope. Why on earth have you not already hit the like button? Okay, it's just the only example that I can think of, but I promise I'm not going to mention it again. For pronunciation, just keep in mind that the article the, we're actually going to use the stronger form the because it comes before a word that begins with a vowel sound. Typically, the article comes before words that begin with a consonant, and we say that weaker the. But I'm sure you already knew that because you're on the ball. We can also link the final consonant sound in end with the beginning vowel sound in of. End of. At the end of your rope. At the end of your rope.
I hate to do this, but I'm kind of at the end of my rope. I need to borrow some money.
I was at the end of my rope. The financial pressure was crazy.
You're not giving me a lot of direction here. I'm at the end of my rope.
To the bitter end. This is a great idiom. It means until something is finished. And it's not always interchangeable with that meaning. If I'm eating something, I could say, yeah, I'm going to eat my food until it is finished. I wouldn't say, I'm going to eat my food until the bitter end. That just sounds really awkward. So you're really going to use this idiom when talking about an outcome that may not always be the one that you want, but you're going to keep going. We may not meet the deadline, but we're going to work to the bitter end. You're just going to keep fighting. And fight is a verb that's often used with this idiom. It's a common collocation, to fight to the bitter end. Let me show you. Southampton boss vows to fight to the bitter end. Youngsville police chief will fight until the bitter end in proposed investigation. Nurses warn of more strike dates in January as they fight to the bitter end. For pronunciation, there are a couple of weak words that I'd like to point out. So the weak to is going to sound like t, and the weak article, the. And then we can link the final consonant sound in bitter with the beginning vowel sound in end. Bitter end. So it's going to sound like to the bitter end. Say it with me. To the bitter end. To fight to the bitter end. Excellent. The next idiom is to get off on the right or wrong foot. And this just means to make a successful or unsuccessful start in something. Now, it's more common to use it in the negative and say that something got off on the wrong foot. The team did not get along, so the project got off on the wrong foot. It's also commonly used when talking about relationships. Two people meet each other, it doesn't go well, it's unsuccessful, it got off on the wrong foot.
Why are you being so nice to me all of a sudden?
I'm sorry we got off on the wrong foot.
We got off on the wrong foot here. And I believe it's because we're just too damn similar.
You do?
Absolutely.
Let's pronounce this idiom, and once again, linking may occur. You can see just how common this is in spoken English. So we can link the phrase, get off on. Just keep in mind that the final T in get, once again, I'm from the US, so I will pronounce it as a flap T. Get off on. Get off on. Get off on the right foot, get off on the wrong foot. And then there's over the top. This means too extreme and not suitable, or exaggerated. So something that's too extreme. She was supposed to buy me a small present, but her gift was way over the top. And that is a great word to emphasize this idiom, way over the top. For something that may be exaggerated, I could say it was supposed to be a friendly competition, but his performance was a bit over the top. And that's another good word you can use with this idiom, a bit over the top. For pronunciation, there's not really much to say about this idiom. You're just going to say these three words, one right after the other, over the top.
It was our fault. Our acting was way over the top.
What are you talking about? We were totally believable.
This is like secret agent stuff. I think a safe room is a bit over the top. Ed thought with the two little ones, you can never be too cautious.
What do you think of my new theater? Bit over the top.
The next idiom, at the crack of dawn. This just means very early in the morning, usually the time when the sun first appears. So it's a great way to emphasize that you're up really early. I could say, this morning, I got up at the crack of dawn. Or, we'll have to get up at the crack of dawn for our flight. I hate it when that happens. Or, my grandfather has been up since the crack of dawn. I tried to present this idiom with some different verb tenses. When pronouncing it, there are a couple of things going on. There are some overlapping sounds, and this is basically when your tongue is in the same position. So at, your tongue is going to come up and block the air with that stop T, but then you're just going to release right into that voiced TH in the. At the. At the. And then we can link the final consonant sound in crack with the vowel sound in of. Crack of. At the crack of dawn. Have you ever gotten up at the crack of dawn? Let me know down in the comments. And then there's change of heart. This is when you change your opinion or the way you feel about something, basically like a reversal in your attitude. And there are three things that I want to point out when it comes to this idiom. Number one, overwhelmingly, you will use this with the verb have, to have a change of heart. Number two, I want to stress that this idiom really involves feelings. So you're not always going to use it anytime you just change your mind. So if I told you, look, this morning I was going to make pancakes, but then I had a change of heart and I decided to cook some eggs instead. You're not really going to use this idiom in that context. I don't have deep feelings when it comes to eggs or pancakes. But if I were to say something like, she was going to sell her grandmother's necklace, but she had a sudden change of heart. In this case, she has stronger feelings when it comes to this necklace. It's more meaningful, and that's also a good collocation with this idiom, a sudden change of heart. Number three, notice that because you're talking about a change in your opinion or the way you feel, most of the time people are going to use this in the past tense. So you would say that someone had a change of heart, or they had a sudden change of heart. For pronunciation, once again, more linking. We can link that first phrase, had a, as well as that second phrase, change of. Had a change of heart. And then you could say it easily and naturally just like that. Someone had a change of heart. Now for a little review. Idioms are a useful part of casual conversation, and I hope that learning these idioms will help your next conversation get off on the right foot. And I know they can be difficult to learn, and I don't want you to take the easy way out and avoid them. I want you to work hard to learn them. I want you to fight until the bitter end. And even if you're at the end of your rope and you're thinking to yourself, how on earth am I going to learn all these different idioms? Just take it one day at a time and try to learn and practice a little bit each and every day. That way, the next time you have a conversation, you're really going to be on the ball when it comes to using these idioms. Now, in light of the time, and I'm not even wearing a watch, but I just need to start wrapping things up because tomorrow I have to get up at the crack of dawn. So if you enjoyed the lesson, I would appreciate it if you hit okay, I told you that I wouldn't mention it again, so I'll just end it right now. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. So long.